Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about the Walking Dead TV show. Now, this is going to be one of those ramble and rant videos that I do. It's going to be a long one, but this time I'm going to put the titles and the times right off to the side so you can see what we're discussing in this video, and then you can skip around if you want. If some of the topics don't interest you, you can move on to something else. Okay, so Gimple and Greg Nicotero have came out and they talked to Dalton Ross from Entertainment Weekly. Now here's the thing, if you're not following Dalton Ross, go follow him. He did a fantastic article. It is worth a read. I will put his article link, the very first link, down in the video description because I like Dalton Ross's article. I like his work, and I was waiting for it. I didn't want it to happen, but I was waiting for him to fanboy with AMC, because sometimes in certain positions you will notice when people write articles, they tend to lean towards being neutral, being soft. But he lays down an article where he calls bullshit where he sees it, but he does it in a very respectful way. He doesn't call bullshit, but at the end of the article, he's like, wait a minute, we have people saying contradictory things. Believe what you want. What do you believe? Comment down below. He has that type of article. So what am I talking about? Well, in the beginning of the article, Scott Gimple comes out and he says, no, we are not toning things down because of backlash. Yes, let me say that again in case you were like, wait a minute, what? Because that directly contradicts what we heard a few days ago or a week ago. They said no, they have not and they will not tone, edit, or cut themselves back. Which, again, and this is what the Entertainment Weekly, Dalton Ross's article, he brings this up at the end of the article, and this is why I think this is such a good article, worth a read. But, yeah, that contradicts what Gail Ann Hurd said. Gail Ann Hurd said, we've heard your feedback, and we will be toning it down, something like that, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to this being a contradictory statement, if this is something where they're coming out saying, oh, we're going to tone down the violence, and they're kind of hoping that saying that is going to fall on the ears of those that want the violence toned down, and then they're kind of going to, kind of like a placebo effect. They're going to think the violence is being toned down, but it's really not. If that's the case, I don't care. They can say that all they want, as long as they give us their vision that is not tainted, as long as it's a vision that they're not afraid to do what they want to do. Again, this is more than just not seeing some blood, not seeing some gore. If they are going to take out some blood and gore, if they do crumble and they decide, or AMC pushes them or forces them to trim or cut anything, if they do that, I beg them to just release it uncensored on Blu-ray for us hardcore fans. If you're going to do anything, give us that. Because they know we're going to support it. Even though we're bitching about it, we will support it. My biggest concern is I strongly believe a lot of fans will not support this. I believe that some fans won't support it out of principle as far as them toning it down. And I do believe that there's a large portion of fans that will put it on the back burner and revisit it later on. The fans that I'm speaking to over the break, the majority of them that have been waiting, they decided they're going to wait and watch it later. It breaks down to three big things. One, there's too many spoilers. There's just no point in watching it live. A lot of people watch it live. They watch it when it first airs, when it's a day or two old, because that way they have little chance of being spoiled. They try to see it as soon as possible. But if they're being spoiled months in advance, and again, for the 1 millionth time, we are talking about people who go to the trailer for the new Logan movie, the trailer for the new, War of the Planet of the Apes, and they scroll down and they're like, this trailer is awesome, I'm so excited, Glenn and Abraham die. Like, we are talking about people who are staying so far away from the Walking Dead content and they're still being spoiled. There's so many people, it's ridiculous. Going back to the major complaints, the three biggest complaints, the spoilers, there's no point, we'll just wait if we're already being spoiled, because again, you rush to see it so you can avoid as many spoilers as possible from the people who do see it. You either see it when it first airs, or you wait a day or two, stay away from social media. But if you're already being spoiled and there's no way to get around it, then wait. and then you can watch it on Netflix, you can watch it on Amazon. I know people now that are starting to catch up and binge the first half, because after episode 1, once it was revealed that everything was leaked months and months and months ago, when you didn't have to even go looking for the leaks, they just appeared everywhere, there was no incentive for them to watch episode 2. I said that a dozen times already because, again, when I read through the comments, that is what I see. Those sort of complaints, when I talk to fans who have legitimately put it on the back burner, that's the story I am hearing. And then we have fans who are complaining about the structure of the episodes. That is a complaint I do not take lightly. I think that's a very serious complaint. As a massive fan of the story they're telling, I will tell you right now that the story they're telling between Tara's story, the Saviors, everybody, it's great, it's fine, it's perfect, it's what it should be. The structure, however, is problematic, and I agree with everyone who doesn't like the structure. I agree there's problems with the structure. And the third biggest complaint, I believe, strongly ties into the structure. The third biggest has to do with the fact that it's getting too predictable. You have the first half is this story, the second half is this story. As an example, the first half is being oppressed by Negan, the second half is rising up. They're splitting the halves, which could be a good thing, but it could get also too problematic and too predictable. But also, if you need this story to have only Tara and Heath, you're going to have half of that episode boring the shit out of people. You're going to have problems like that if you're forcing episodes to take place only with Daryl in the jail cell, only with the Kingdom, and it's not well balanced and split apart, and you don't have a well blended episode. You're going to have, the third biggest complaint, fans that are saying this is dull, this is boring because we're stuck here. We're waiting weeks and weeks and weeks to finish this story. And that is a serious problem. When you have fans saying, wait a minute, where the hell is Tara? I totally forget. Why is she here with Heath? That's because it's been months and months and months and months before we've seen them. This is something that most likely, even if it's blended, we might not have seen her, but we definitely would have checked in on her a lot sooner if it was a blended way of storytelling. And it's not just with that episode. We see these problems all throughout The Walking Dead where they do make these budget-centric decisions. There's no way you're going to convince me it's not primarily about the budget. You're not going to convince me it's not, because we see these signs, like with the cast being paid more, with the simple fact that they've had the same budget for all these seasons. It's like The Walking Dead gets bigger, grander, everything grows. The budget doesn't. The budget stays the same. The Walking Dead grows in popularity. They double the amount they charge for the ads. As a matter of fact, the budget, as far as I know, has only gone down, not up. It's never gone up. I will double check. I do know it's gone down since season 1. The last time I checked, it's never gone up. It's stayed roughly around the same. It's around 2 million-ish. 3 million. I heard somewhere it was like 3.4 the first season, then it's like per episode, then it's like 2 million, and to put that into perspective, I heard Game of Thrones is like 10 million. I don't know. I wasn't prepared to talk about numbers, but just to give you a general idea. So I want to get off topic with the budget, but I will say those are the 3 biggest complaints. I read thousands and thousands and thousands of comments, and from the fans, it's spoilers, it's split episodes / bottle episodes. I hate calling them that now, that I firmly believe we are misusing the shit out of calling them bottle episodes. I'm guilty too. I went with the flow. Everyone was calling them bottle episodes. I did it too. They're just kind of are, but no. And the third one is because they are structuring the stories pretty specific. You have areas that there's no way around it. You need to put filler in there, and it's causing fans to say the story's boring because, hell, you watch episode 1, you watch episode 8. Listen, this is something in the fandom. If AMC or the writers, the producers, if they hear anything in this video, if we could clip this one moment and share this with anyone that has any creative control on The Walking Dead in the friendliest way possible, in a way that I'm screaming for some type of change. This is a meme. As a fan of The Walking Dead, as a casual fan, you are instructed to watch episode 1, episode 8 of each season, the mid-season premiere, which is episode 9, when you come back from the break, and then the season finale. You were instructed to watch that. That is what fans, casual fans, they say is a joke. You hear it everywhere. If you read the comments, I just watch episode 1 and episode 8, boom, I know everything in the first half. I just watch episode 9, episode 16, boom, I know everything in the second half, whoop-de-whoop. That is a joke. But look at the ratings too. You have a huge spike in episode 1 of the season. Then you have a huge spike in episode 8 after a drop-off, highs and lows depending on which character is primarily the focus of each bottle episode. And then same thing with the second half. It's no longer a joke to watch episode 1, 8, 9, and 16. It's becoming the reality. Watch episode 1, and we're talking to casuals. For fans like, I'll never understand it. For a fan like me, I either watch you or I don't. When it comes to TV shows, I either watch and support from beginning to end. I don't jump around. I don't skip. I don't peek. I don't spoil. I either watch or I don't. I will never understand a fan who watches one episode, goes and talks to his friends. What happened in episode 2? I probably wasn't in it. What happened in 3? I'll watch episode 8. Oh, wait, 4, there was some funny Negan stuff? I'll look it up on YouTube. Oh, 5, this happened? Oh, I'll watch that clip here. That's what these casual fans, these 5 million that you keep losing, that you desperately want back, that's what they're doing. If it's a big secret, I don't know, but there you go. The structure's becoming a joke. The joke is becoming a reality. The joke is becoming like the playbook on how to watch The Walking Dead as a casual fan. Watch episode 1. Watch episode 8. Watch episode 9, watch episode 16, bang. In between, just ask your friends what happened. I don't know. Let's move on to the next topic. I'm frustrated and stressed, but listen, I say that with the utmost respect and love for the cast and the crew. I know, like, I get a little rough around the edges sometimes. I get some fans going, wait a minute, Ronnie, I thought you were like super fan yesterday. Now you're cursing and screaming. You know, even though I'm excited and energetic, I still fully support Scott Gimple. I would never want him replace the showrunner. I support him literally 100%. I was going to say 110, but I was like, is that dumb or what? Greg Nicotero, like the producers, the team, Robert Kirkman, like the cast and crew we have right now, I can't even think of somebody off the top of my head that I do not support 110%. But yeah, I don't know how I can say it any clearer. You know, I love the show. I will always support the show. I love the show so much. When I hear something that I think could affect the show in a negative way, yes, I will cuss and scream and bitch and moan and complain and whine and whatever other negative thing you can add on to that. I think it's better to have fans saying, I am mad, don't change anything. I think that's better than fans saying, I'm mad, change your vision. In my opinion, I think even Scott Gimple, Gale Ann Hurd, Greg Nicotero, I think they would rather have a fan saying, fuck you, Greg, give me what you've been giving me. Give me an untainted vision of gore, you know? I think he would much rather prefer that over a fan saying, fuck you, don't show me any blood and guts. But if I'm a major dick for saying that, or if they don't like me, or if they want to block me, like personally, or anyone like me is what I'm saying, any fan who comes out and says, I'm royally pissed, I don't want changes, that is fine. I personally think it's better for a fan to come out and say, I want your vision, I don't want it tainted. And again, it circles around to the biggest point, the most important point. It's not about us not knowing what they're going to tone down yet. Oh, it's only going to be a little blood and gore. It doesn't matter with the blood and gore. It's not about that. It's a simple fact that you have a minority going out and saying, we want the majority to deal with our preferences. That's not right, especially in entertainment. I love the cast and crew, and I just want them to, because sometimes, even though you're in the higher positions, you don't see it as a fan. You're in the same war, but you're in a different trench. So you might not see what's going on in this perspective. So when I see thousands of comments coming in talking about these 3 main areas, that's what I bring up to you guys. It's up to you guys to add your thoughts and opinions down below. Even if you disagreeing is not bad. You can say, oh, well, I disagree, but it's not really a disagreement. It's like, I have another perspective. And I beg you, put your other perspective down. Put your opinions, your thoughts, put that down in the comments. Like, I want you to. I know a lot of people are hesitant sometimes. I always want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Absolutely. I do think that where Carol and Tyrese ran up to Lizzie and Mika in that scene, I think that was wonderfully done and heartbreaking, and they didn't show the gore. Again, it all matters on the scene you are developing. Like, when I keep bringing up Daryl and Joey's head getting beaten, I think showing Joey's head was very important and crucial to the scene, and I strongly disagree with cutting that gore out. Now, they claimed in the article, if you want to go read it, they claim they did not cut that gore out. The actor says that they did film it with the gore. So who do you believe? And that's something that's brought up in the article by Dalton Ross. But again, at the end of the day, when it comes... Get out of my eye, dust! When it comes to watching it on screen and watching it unfold, I went back and rewatched the Daryl scene, and I said, you know what? All right, maybe I'm being a little too rough on it. I'm going to sit back and watch it again. And I watched it, and same feeling. I feel like there was a reveal that was cut out, and it shouldn't have been. It makes it feel like, I think it was the perspective. I think they had it set up great to have the certain perspective where Daryl is blacking out, beats Joey's head in. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't in the wrong. It wasn't like he blacked out and he wasn't in control. I just mean he knew he was going to hit him. He knew he was going to kill him, but he kind of blacked out in the moment. A nice callback to Morgan Even, where all he saw was red. Jesus comes around the corner, startles him. Daryl looks up kind of, and he's not remorseful. He doesn't regret it. He knows what he needs to do from here on out. And he's like, it's not about surviving around here. It's about taking it all, or whatever he said. And then they get up out of there. But right at that moment where Daryl is startled, this should have been the reveal, the gory reveal of, boom, a head and then a flicker. Because now we see it. Daryl snaps out of the moment, We even see him physically twitch, I believe, subtly. But this is where the reveal comes with the gore. But it doesn't matter. There's no regret. There's no remorse. And it's visually told to us, not just by the verbal words that Daryl says, but also the flicker of the gun off to the side. Because the camera shows the gore, but it's the gun we're going to focus on, because it shifts from the gore to the gun. And that's the moment visually. You don't even need the words. The words are great, leave the words. But it's visually where it's like, nope, it's about the war. It's about what's coming next. This must be done, even though before you met Negan and their group, you would have let Joey live. You know what I mean? Surprise ending. Thoughts and opinions down in that comment box about everything we've discussed. I'm done talking. It's your turn.